We just saw Let's Be Cops. And on this show, I take my friends, we go see a movie, we do a quick review in the car, and then we have a discussion. The review part's spoiler-free, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you can kind of make up your mind and see if it's something that you want to go check out. And if you have seen the movie, then check out the discussion part, because we go into spoilers and talk about all kinds of stuff that happens in the movie. This movie has pretty much delivered what we expected, what we wanted from it. Saw the trailers a couple of months ago, and just cracked up at the fact that it literally is just Let's Be Cops. That's the whole premise. That's the whole movie. And it's great fun. There's a lot more of a second and third act than I expected there to be for a movie this, like, shallow, I guess, as far as the premise goes. So I really liked it. It's solid all the way through. It's not so much about just like how many stupid things they can get into. There's a lot more depth to it than that. But generally speaking, yeah, I mean, it's a solid R-rated comedy. Not the best I've seen this year, but definitely a good R-rated comedy. What did you guys think?
I thought it was hilarious. I was expecting to be entertained, and they didn't disappoint me. It was, I don't know, it like you were mentioning, there was a surprising amount more depth to it than I was expecting. I was just expecting a silly movie. But I really enjoyed it. The guys, the two lead guys were hilarious, and I don't think I have seen a movie with Damon Wayans' son, so that was interesting. It's reminded me so much of him, it was funny. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it, like Dale said, it delivered on everything that I wanted this movie to be, and then some.
They were cops.
It's interesting because, the previews, as hilarious as they are, really only encompasses maybe the first quarter of the movie or whatever, before it really gets into kind of more stuff going on, which was interesting, which is fine because that totally sold the movie, and it delivered on what you expect from watching the trailer. So definitely, if you see the trailer for Let's Be Cops and you think it's funny, then you're really going to enjoy it.
The movie was really good. I'm a big fan of the show New Girl, and the two leads are both in that show, and so you could tell that there in that show that there's a lot of chemistry, and this movie plays off that really well. The leads have absolutely excellent chemistry together. Kind of harkens back to Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy. Just really good. I think that could be a pretty good comedy pair for future movies. Well,
if anybody's seen Psych, the two main guys remind me of those guys in that show, because one of them is, you can tell from the trailers, one of them is kind of a doofus and the other one's kind of along for the ride, so.
You gotta have the screwball guy and the straight guy.
Exactly, yeah.
Definitely. Well, that's the short version. Definitely check out the movie. Don't let us ruin any of the great jokes or anything that happens in it. But if you have seen it or don't care to and just want to hear the rest, we'll talk a little bit more about it. So yeah, it has this actual sort of buddy cop crime movie that sort of appears out of nowhere, which I guess is sort of the next logical step for it to take. I kind of expected for them to have fooled Rob Riggle a little bit longer, and for that to be the direction that it went.
Yeah.
Where they were sort of connected to him a little bit longer. But I really liked what they did with, they sort of figured out the whole Andy Garcia thing, and then Andy Garcia turned it back around on him, and it's just really well done.
Speaking of which, how long has it been since Andy Garcia's been in anything?
He shows up in little parts like this every once in a while. I'm thinking I saw him in something a few months ago that was just like that, where he was just sort of randomly there.
I got insanely excited to see him. I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen Andy Garcia in forever.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked that it wasn't as risque as some of the jokes were. It never was raunchy.
Yeah, not
really.
Well, visually.
There was visually raunchy once.
There's some balls.
There are some balls in
God,
someone's face.
Yeah. But you know, stuff like that kind of has to happen. It's it's your Borat moment. It's your Borat moment.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying before, like, if you talk to real police officers, that's the kind of stuff that actually happens.
that's the day-to-day
There's
stuff.
a naked drunk dude running down the street, and one of us has to decide, like, we have to draw straws as to who tackles him.
Yep. I got the guy last week.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Maybe this one.
and we mentioned we didn't expect it to have kind of the depth that it did. I guess, like I said, I went in the trailers, you could kind of see the Psych vibe with those two guys, and I thought it was just going to be silly, the stupid stuff that they get into, kind of, and it's not really a new kind of story, you know, I can name a ton of movies that are like this, which is not a bad thing, because I happen to love these kind of movies, like stuff going wrong, and, you know, they try to get themselves out of it, starting out this silly thing, but I thought it was pretty cool how it kind of, I don't know, I liked that the guy ended up finding what he was truly passionate about from this silly experience.
Yeah, and there's a ton of movies that try to do this that fuck it up.
Yes.
Like, there's tons of movies that would be great buddy cop movies. There's that Ice Cube Kevin Hart movie that came out earlier this year.
Oh, Ride Along?
That
Supposedly
fucks
that
it
was
up.
really good.
No,
I haven't
it's not really good.
I thought it was all right. It wasn't as good as this.
It screws it up because you want them to be in a buddy cop situation, and they're at odds for most of the movie. The second 21 Jump Street movie is like that. 22 Jump Street. They spend the first two acts at odds and not together, working together. And it's like they forgot what happened in the first film. And when you go to a movie like this, you want to see the buddy cop thing. Like, they can fight, they can, like, complain at each other, you know, and all of that stuff, and that's what you expect. That's what you want, that sort of odd couple thing going on. But don't break them apart for huge portions of the movie. You know, don't do that to the viewer. We came to see those two guys.
If this kid wasn't here.
The supporting cast was really strong too. Like, I mean, they didn't have major parts except for Keegan Michael Key's character. But I really think Natasha Leggero stole the show. Like, I laughed every
was
time she was
hilarious,
on
yeah.
screen.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
Just flipping herself over the couch. And,
No,
Yes.
that
was great.
it was ridiculous, and even the little kids that show up were funny. Like when he's arguing with the kids on the football field, that is freaking hilarious.
Roger's
Yes.
getting in my head, man.
Right. And the little kid that they took on as the intern.
the intern,
Yeah.
the cop intern.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't
he
be
was awesome.
Don't be a dick, Rod.
It was great. Yeah, I would definitely see it again. I would rent it and check it out
Definitely,
again.
yeah.
Show it
Yeah.
to some people.
And I think it'll even be better because you know they're gonna release an unrated version. You know it. They do
could
it
see
in
that.
pretty much every.
Oh, God,
comedy.
even the credit scenes. Where those were probably just all the little bits that they didn't use for whatever reason
Yeah,
of their
I bet they filmed a ton
of their
of those.
shenanigans, you know, when
Yeah.
they were out doing whatever. That was hilarious.
I think that was smart, though. Like, not making that first act really bloated with
Yeah.
Yeah,
all the permutations
Right.
of things.
And
they
I
could-
love those. When I get a movie, I love to watch the things that they cut out, especially in movies like this, where it's people that you know that they probably spent tons of time ad-libbing all of these silly scenes. I love to watch that stuff.
Very cool. Let's Be Cops. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out the review. Like us, subscribe to us. Hope you enjoy the way we do these things. Check everything out over at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.